The first thing I'd say is not all accountants are the same. So therefore you need to decide what sort of approach you want. The starting point would be asking yourself how much work you want to commit into dealing with your accountant and really what your knowledge is. So if you're new to contracting and running your own company, you're going to need more advice than an old hand who's been doing it for 4 or 5 years. So sit down and analyse how good your skills are, what you're good at, what you're not so good at, and can you commit to it. Once you've done that, it's then deciding, do you want to use the services of a traditional accountant, so you want to go into somebody's office, sit down in front of them face to face and actually go through the issues, or are you comfortable using one of the online accountants? A traditional accountant will provide you with a good level of service, but will probably charge you by the hour for the work actually done, so it's always a slightly more costly option. You have to ask yourself, is the traditional accountant experienced at dealing with contractors? Because the contractor's tax affairs are slightly different than, say, somebody running a garage or a hairdresser's, for instance. So things like IR35 can be quite complex, and if you've not dealt with it before, you may not be getting best advice. So ask yourself, online or traditional? If you're happy to go with the online solution, there are many companies out there, so the starting point would be to say, go to some of the forums, see what people are saying about the accountants out there, and look on various contractor sites. Look at the adverts and just get familiar with some of the names. There's also a lot of comparison tools out there you can use to compare the services, because one of the big differences between the online accountants are what you actually get for your money. So there's lots of adverts and offers out there to say £50 a month for providing your services, but actually, are you getting an all-inclusive service? Are you getting what you need for your money? Or are you going to actually require more services and then get a nasty bill at the end of the year? So have a look for some comparison tools. If you can't find one you're suitable with, drop your own little spreadsheet or checklist and put down there what you need from your accountant and how much advice and help you'll need on an ongoing basis. And then ring up these guys and ask them and tell them what you need and ask them to give you prices. Once you've got that, you can then compare both with the feel from the questions which have been answered, but also from a price. So what's giving you best value for money? Unfortunately, not all accountants are clear and transparent in their pricing policy. That's one of the things we pride ourselves on at ClearSky. Therefore, hidden costs are around things like more people on the payroll. So if there's maybe 2 employees, well, they charge you some extra money, maybe some extra fees for doing a second director's tax return. But also things like exit fees. So if you decide not to stay with that accountant, well, they charge you to leave. Sounds a little bit weird, but some accountants do actually charge you to give you all your books and information back. Also, are there any minimum terms? Are there any tie-ins? So are you signing up to, say, £50 a month, but you then transpire it's an annual service and you have to pay 12 months worth, even if you have to decide to leave after a month or 2. So there are a lot of hidden costs out there. You just need to shop around and really just be careful.